I thought I'd do a video about firearms. In my opinion, if things get rough, you're going to want three types of weapons. First off, you're going to want a primary weapon. This should be a multiple purpose gun for self-defense and hunting, a weapon that you feel comfortable with. Now, most of us live in the city, so odds are you don't need some big old bolt action 50 caliber sniper rifle that can hit targets 1.5 miles away. You don't have that much of a line of sight, not that clear of a line of sight. You've got buildings all over the place. You need a weapon that is light or fairly light, accurate, and can spit out rounds on target like nobody's business if necessary. This should be a popular weapon so that ammo and parts are available for trade. And I wouldn't put a super bright tactical light on it. If you turn on a bright light at night and some guy's hiding in the bushes, he's going to see you before you see him. He'll see what kind of guns you've got on, what kind of gear you got on, and how many guys are with you. I mean, have y'all seen Predator 2? The whole team gets took out because of this big old bright light they have on their shoulder. The Predator sees and kills the team before they see him. You'll give your position away. If you do have a tactical light, I would use it sparingly. Now, personally, I have a Stag Arms Model 2. It's an AR-15. Alright? These have come a long way from the old M16. They're not the government style, the finest equipment, the lowest bid'll buy. It's a 223, but the smaller projectile makes up for its size with velocity. It causes hydrostatic shock. It tumbles like a power saw that went out of control after impact. It shreds whatever it hits. The AR is accurate, versatile, and the velocity makes up for its small round. But you have to take care of it for it to take care of you. You want to shoot clean burning ammo. You have to keep your rifle clean, lubed, well maintained. I like PMC personally. I buy that from a website called The Armory. I wouldn't recommend buying tons of cheap ammo like Wolf or something unless you can use it for trade. Don't put cheap ammo through an expensive rifle. You're going to get it all corroded inside, all dirty, and have feeding problems. My Stag Arm set me back about $1,100. If you don't have that kind of money, what about an AK-74 Wasser 1063? It's a Romanian version. It's proven. Very reliable. Easy to maintain with great stopping power. You can use any kind of ammo. Cheap ammo, expensive ammo, it doesn't matter. It's not as accurate as an AR, but practice makes perfect. The AK can take a lot of abuse and still keep going. And there's tons of aftermarket parts. You can customize it however you want. I've heard of the plastic hand guards melting on some people after they use it. It overheats and melts. I would probably keep the wooden hand grip, sand it, paint it, and there you go, problem solved. But the AK's reputation speaks for itself. And for what, like $500-600? I mean, it's a great buy. If you can't afford that, probably go with an SKS. It's about as reliable as an AK, same caliber. It's got a little bit of a longer barrel, which means it's going to be more accurate. The drawback is going to be its limited ammo capacity. But for $350, it's a great buy. Buy a cheap bandolero and a bunch of stripper clips for cheap. A rifle is better than no rifle, especially if you have a good, reliable, battle-proven one. The first thing you need to do if you get one of these SKSs is really clean up the gun, especially the firing pin. They can slam fire. Clean all the cosmeline off. I strongly recommend you buy a firing pin with a return spring. You can get them for a couple of bucks online. Problem solved. It does only hold 10 rounds, but you can get 20 round mags from Tapco. They make decent magazines. About $30. The They seem to work better with the synthetic stocks. Synthetic stocks run probably 50 to 80 bucks on eBay, but by the time you put all these upgrades, you probably should have went with an AK in the first place. If you plan to get other guns, I would suggest buying the other guns before you start putting all this money into upgrades, unless it's the only weapon you're going to get. If you don't put all the money into an SKS, I would recommend polishing the bolt and any unblued steel. Sand and paint the wood black. There's no tactical advantage to doing this. However, it does have a fear factor. If people see a wooden stock, they might think you have some kind of slow bolt action rifle and feel more confident. But if it looks more tactical, you might put some fear into them. You might not even have to use it. That's why, like, sheriffs back in the day, you know, and marshals in the Old West would dress up in black. It's the color of death. The fear element could deter conflict. They didn't have to use it. Most people don't know anything about guns. The majority of people out there think that all ARs and all AKs are full auto. That you can just, if you wanted a gun, you can walk into a gun shop and it's like a 7-Eleven. You know, use that ignorance against them. Especially if they're trying to harm you and take what's yours. Second thing I'd recommend is a shotgun. Very simple, just world famous pump action shotgun. They're great for self-defense, home defense. Now, don't put a scope or a laser light or a bayonet on a shotgun. It's a scatter gun. That's stupid. Alright? A shotgun is great, but only at close range. Let's say that, even if you put slugs, you know, say that you get into it with some guy and he has a rifle and you have slugs. Well, because the rifle is more accurate at longer distances, odds are he's going to go home with a brand new shotgun after it's all said and done. And the last thing I'd recommend would be a .22. I personally would go with a rifle. The pistols, I haven't dealt with many, but the ones I've dealt with, they jam a lot. They have failures to feed. You know, you've got to use really good ammo and then you still got problems, or I have. There's no right or wrong. Yes, a rifle's more accurate, but you can conceal a pistol. I mean, my situation may be very different from the guy down the street, and God only knows where you are when you're watching this video. And don't say, well, it's only a .22, because it's only enough to kill someone. The .22 is the most underrated caliber of all, killing more people in the US every year than any other caliber. And you know, for under $100, you can pick up 1,000 rounds probably. It's great for target shooting. You know, you can hunt small game with it, and if necessary, use it for home defense. It'll get the job done.